Woke up just thinking about copping that spider. Walking right in and pull out with a title. Wanna lit like a lighter. Popping my shit, make these niggas don't like it.
The Diddy files. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a beam, bro. I'm not even that caught up with all the shit he did, bro. So all this is gonna be new information for me. So, let me know a little bit more about this Diddy guy.
Powerful executive Sean Diddy Combs has had an ominous presence in the
I don't
music
either. I just know
industry for
the
the past 30
fucking
years. From
the
his
jokes and
suspicious
shit.
involvement in the demise of Tupac and Biggie, his secretive ritualistic parties in the backrooms, as well as numerous accidental confessions, has made the public pre-decide that he is guilty of all accusations against him. Not only have multiple women filed formal lawsuits alleging him of violent sexual assault and humiliation, but now the federal government raided his home as they investigate his involvement
Bro, didn't they say this nigga Diddy fled the scene and like his fucking kids got arrested or some shit, and then this nigga got a private jet and then jumped out that bitch? Bro,
you know
like,
the leak is on YouTube, bro. But not all of it.
Shit, I know the leak was on that shit, bro.
global
I don't be
sex
giving a fuck about this shit. So when niggas start memifying it, like when niggas start memifying this shit, bro, it's like, okay, now let me find out what the lore is. But like me personally, I wouldn't just be like, let's see what Diddy did. I don't give a fuck.
Charged of any crime, but any day now, Diddy could
He
feel
booked
the
a private
wrath
jet,
of
but
the
never got on.
American
He faked that
justice
shit. That
system.
nigga's Batman.
Today, we are going to unearth the secrets he never wanted the world to know, with the goal of determining one thing: did he do it or not? It's first very important to understand Diddy's potential involvement in the murders of Tupac and Biggie, because if you believe those allegations to be true, everything that happens afterwards.
Wait, this nigga was a part of the taking off the map of Diddy and Diddy. Of Tupac and Biggie?
Because if you believe those allegations to be true, everything that happens afterwards makes total sense. In the mid-90s, Diddy, also known as Sean Puffy Combs, was in the middle of the infamous East Coast vs. West Coast hip-hop rivalry. It all began with East Coast rapper and Bad Boy Records signee, the Notorious B.I.G., versus his enemy, West Coast rapper and Death Row Records signee, Tupac Shakur. And it ended with both of them being assassinated via drive-by shootings. Biggie's murder remains unsolved to this day, but in 2023 we learned that Keefe D was the shot caller for the group of individuals that killed Tupac. Although we do not know the specific details as to why these two rap legends were killed, through all the theories, key information, and first-hand recollections from friends and witnesses of both murders indicate that Sean Combs had involvement in both murders.
Bro, that shit is so crazy how a fucking case can still not be solved, like, to this day, bro. Like, a murder that fucking took place in, like, 1980s, bro. No one knows what the fuck happened.
He and Tupac were friendly and actually respected each other at first. Tupac had begun rapping in 1991 and within 2 years already had earned a platinum album. Biggie was a crack dealer who recorded freestyles for fun, until someone sent his tapes to Puffy, who signed him to Bad Boy Records for $25,000. Puffy was also able to use his status in the music industry to connect Biggie and Pac. Pac became a mentor to Biggie. He once even asked him to be his manager.
I was there, nigga. I trained the nigga. He used to be under me like my lieutenant. The nigga, I used to come to New York. I used to do shows and let the nigga come on before I did keep your head up and get around. Because nobody knew the nigga in New York. And I used to tell the nigga, yo, if you want to make your money, you gotta rap for the bitches. Do not rap for the niggas. I told the nigga, don't rap for the niggas. Rap for the bitches. The bitches will buy your records and the niggas want what the bitches want. So all of a sudden, he changed from being listen to party and bullshit. Listen to his style. He changed from that to Big Papa.
Pac believes that Biggie used him as a blueprint, changed his whole style, persona, and music to be more aligned with Tupac. Many people speculated that Diddy also had a slight obsession with Tupac. He started dripping himself in Versace after Tupac did it first. He also got romantically involved in women after Tupac had ran through them first.
What
like
the
Sarah
fuck?
Chapman.
That's actually weird as hell, bruh. Getting with bitches that another nigga fucked is actually crazy.
Who ran around with Tupac in the 90s and is now the mother of one of Diddy's children. Pac's claims aged like fine wine when recently the internet figured out that Biggie's most successful hit, Juicy, was actually stolen by a Mississippi-based artist called Notorious B1, who released a song called Big Daddy a year before Juicy that sounds exactly the same.
Damn, nigga got robbed.
Is it a coincidence that Notorious B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. are very similar, and this song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie started going by Big Papa? But many people believe this was the mastermind of Diddy, as he was a music industry expert who knew how to scout talent and assess a hit song before anyone else heard it. They believe Puffy instructed his artists to steal from Notorious B.I.G. and Biggie trusted his boss and mentor. Pac and Big's rivalry began as a music-based competition. Who had more music sales? Who had the better fashion?
This nigga was working with... So was Diddy working with both B.I.G. and Tupac, or was he just working with B.I.G.? Why am I calling this nigga B.I.G.? Was he just working with Biggie? Diddy? Okay, so see, he worked with everyone, but Diddy was a part of or allegedly was a part of the assassination of both Tupac and Biggie. Okay, niggas in Among Us fucking imposters.
Media representation and cultural influence. But due to gangster rap creeping into the mainstream and the two being surrounded by legitimate gangsters, tensions escalated to life-threatening conflict. In November 1994, Tupac was on his way to record some music at Quad Studios in New York City. Coincidentally, Biggie was there recording with Junior Mafia, which was a group of 4 friends that Big knew since their childhood. Puffy was there too, since Big was his artist, and anything that Big writes or records is technically owned by the Bad Boy label. Allegedly, a man by the name of Jimmy Henchman, who is now serving life in prison, was planning a robbery on Tupac since Pac owed him some money. Many speculate that Jimmy told Puffy what was about to happen, but Puffy did not try to stop it. When Pac was outside the studio, he looked up and realized rapper Lil Cease, who is best friends with Biggie, was yelling at him from above. He was excited to see him because they were friends. He told him he was going to go downstairs and meet him in the lobby. Pac got to the lobby downstairs when some men attempted to rob him at gunpoint, which quickly led to conflict and Pac being shot 5 times.
In the middle of that trial, Shakur was gunned down, shot 5 times in what he claimed was a murder attempt and police called a robbery.
As the police did their investigation, you can see Diddy looking around scanning the area with his head down. Keep in mind that after Tupac was shot, he got in the elevator and went upstairs where dozens of Bad Boy affiliates were located. Pac
that shit was a setup. Oh, me, that shit was a setup.
He was shot and the energy of the people around him while he was bleeding out. Because Andre Harrell was there, Puffy was there, Biggie, nobody approached me. I noticed that nobody would look at me. Andre Harrell wouldn't look at me. I had been going to dinner with him the last few days. Puffy was standing back too. I knew Puffy. He knew how much stuff I had done for Biggie before he came out. Based on Tupac's words here, fans in the media believe that he was hinting that Biggie and Puffy might be behind the attack, which bothered Big and Puff since publicly at this point they were still friends.
Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And
shit, it looked like y'all niggas set him up. When's Batman? Yo, you asked about Batman one more time, we not playing that bitch on God.
If you was to get shot 5 times, mine is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused about your situation, so it'll cause you to say things that you really don't mean.
To make things worse, a few months later, Pac was found guilty of sexual assault and would end up serving 9 months in prison. This gave him tons of time to think and reevaluate his life. To add insult to injury, Biggie released his iconic cutthroat track called Who Shot Ya, which felt like an obvious diss towards Tupac.
Yo, that nigga fucking,
it was
he
recorded
did it, bro.
Before Pac got shot.
He did it. It was good,
marketed and released months after the incident. Regardless, the media developed the narrative that Big and Puffy set up the shooting and now released a diss record bragging about their hit. And Puff's full
See, like, why do niggas do shit like that, bro? You got OJ over here admitting to murders in a book that he fucking wrote after he beat the case, bro. Talking about if I did it. Like, why do niggas do that, bro?
Tensions were to stir up drama, as can be confirmed by the former president of Bad Boy Records.
Biggie might not have thought that when he wrote the lyrics that it was going to be used for that. But the way it was marketed by the company and released in the succession of things that were going on that we were dealing with on all the levels that we were dealing, that record did what it was supposed to do. And that's a perfect example of how my former business partner works and thinks.
Pac was sitting in jail already thinking that they set him up, and the release of this song was all the proof he needed. But this wasn't the only shooting that Puffy was involved in. It's also important to know that Tupac signed to Death Row Records while in prison after the label owner Suge Knight promised to use his money to get Pac released. As they were in the process of getting Pac out, Suge Knight and his best friend Jake Robles, aka Big Jake, were at the Platinum nightclub in Atlanta. Suge confronted Puffy at the club and was choking him. Puffy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, steps in to defend him, and then things got out of hand. Next thing you know, shots are being fired and Suge's friend Big Jake was shot and killed.
Damn!
Whether or not Wolf shot Jake has never been confirmed, but Suge was holding Puffy responsible for the attack, which was enough to now ignite a feud between the two executives. Quick sidebar.
Damn, so everybody beefing,
bruh. Puffy's firstborn biological son, Justin Combs, looks a lot like Wolf. How does your son look more like your best friend than you? Anyways, in October 1995, Tupac got
nigga adopted that motherfucker. Nigga adopted that nigga.
out of prison and he wanted war.
Hell no.
I have no fear. I have only ambition, and I want mine, and I will do anything to protect and feed my family. And these niggas represent a threat.
Pac got out and immediately started taunting and scheming on Bad Boy Records as much as possible. In the days after his release from prison, he jumped into the studio to record his next album, All Eyes on Me, and he talked about the anticipated tracks.
2 of America's Most Wanted with me and Snoop. That's gonna be a humdinger, man. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. That's gonna be a big one. And Wonder Why They Call You Bitch with Faith. That's gonna be a big one.
He mentions Faith, aka Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie for over a year at this point. Imagine your wife jumps in the studio.
Yo, they got this nigga looking 2 different directions, my nigga. God damn, bruh. This nigga big as shit.
With your biggest enemy 1 week after he gets out of jail. Pac was also seen with Faith Evans at Whitney Houston's album release party. The rumor is that Biggie cheated on Faith and that she was trying to get back at him by cheating with Pac. Pac also allegedly started messing around with Mary J. Blige, who was a close friend and business partner with Puffy.
Damn!
Records held a
this
Christmas
nigga knew what he was
party in
doing, bruh.
1995
These
where a
niggas
close friend of
evil.
Puffy, Mark Anthony Bell, was
These
mercilessly
niggas
beaten
evil.
and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge.
What the fuck?
Was mercilessly beaten and forced to drink urine after refusing to give Suge Puffy's mother's address. Tupac and Death Row did not let off the gas. At the 1996 Soul Train Awards, Biggie won the award for Song of the Year, and Tupac won Best Rap Album of the Year. After Big got his award, he took some pictures backstage and then exited the venue because he had to go to the airport to catch a flight. And that's when Pac and Suge pulled up in a Hummer taunting them.
While we was waiting for the car to pull up, Suge and Tupac pulled up in the Hummer, and you know, Tupac was really loud, yelling West Side, you know, cursing, yelling a bunch of stuff, and Suge came from the other side and was like trying to actually walk up to us saying he just want to talk to Big, like want to talk, but of course everybody got in front. You know, it was a little yelling and arguing for a minute, but police and everybody got in front, kind of stopped everything.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was
Biggie
really
had
a chill
240
dude
vision.
who
That
didn't
nigga was
want to
seeing
beef with
everything.
Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we are speculating, he seemed to be a pawn in a much bigger operation.
He knows you sent somebody to shoot him at first. Is that true or false?
Why?
For a minute, but police and everybody got in front, kind of stopped everything.
Despite Biggie's gangster lyrics, he was really a chill dude who didn't want to beef with Pac. Remember, he looked up to him. He always thought they were friends, but as we are speculating, he seemed to be a
Biggie Pac
pawn
would have been a
in
crazy
much
duo, bro.
bigger
This is giving me
He
fucking
knows you sent somebody to
like
shoot him at
movie
first.
plot,
Is that true or false?
like movie plot
Why would I do
fucking
that?
shit, bro.
Do you think he was just hyping a record, or you have no idea?
I don't know what was the problem. You know, I wasn't inside his head at the time. I don't really know what's the reason for him doing what he did.
Tupac was a man on fire. A man who he believes was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, was constantly being slandered by the media, and now feels
they
was
both
being
die as
disrespected
plot.
by his biggest enemies.
Your
on
best
top of
friend
being
turns into
surrounded
your
by
enemy and
real
y'all both
gangsters.
die.
He released a music video alongside Snoop Dogg called 2 of America's Most Wanted, which featured
It's
a
really
skit
Batman
mocking
versus
Biggie and Puff.
Superman on some shit.
Please
With
don't
that
be
nigga Diddy being
idea. No, man, I'm just a rapper, man. Please don't take me out the game.
Interesting that Tupac himself instructed the Biggie actor in the 90s to say it was Puff's idea, as if he knew the truth. Then Pac released one of the most abrasive and iconic diss tracks of all time, Hit 'Em Up. He starts off the song claiming he had sex with Biggie's wife and then directly calls
fuck your
Biggie,
bitch,
Puffy,
you
and
fat
Junior Mafia
motherfucker.
all big.
Oh my goodness. But nah, like yeah, it's like some Superman versus Batman shit with Diddy being Lex Luthor, my nigga.
Along with various other threats. The pressure was on Bad Boy. Pac was not going to stop, and Puffy couldn't take the heat. Biggie's
Superman?
bodyguard,
Batman?
Gene
That
Deal,
motherfucker,
recalls when Puff reached his tipping point.
He said,
That
I'm a
motherfucker,
businessman. I'm about making money.
What's his
but
name?
something gotta change.
That nigga Tupac, Batman.
if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change.
Gene was taken back. He wondered if Puff realized that he just said he didn't care if his own artist died. At the same time, he still wanted to play gangster games. As we all know, these gangster games only lead to two outcomes: death or jail, and Tupac would meet his fate on September 13th, 1996. Pac and the Death Row Squad were attending the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas. Hyped up from the testosterone and the energy of the fight, Pac wanted some action. A Death Row associate pointed out Orlando Anderson to Pac, who was a Southside Crip gang member, a rival to the Pyru blood set that was affiliated with Death Row Records. Pac went up to Orlando and punched him in the face. Then Death Row associates put a beating on the man. Later that night, Suge and Tupac were driving down East Flamingo Road to Club 662 when suddenly a white Cadillac pulled up beside them at a red light and opened fire on Tupac. He was hit 4 times, with the fatal shot piercing his lung. Just last year, Las Vegas police arrested a man called Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who was a shot caller for the group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out. Ironically, Keefe D. has been confessing his involvement publicly on the internet for years. In 2008, he confessed that his nephew, Orlando Anderson, the man that Tupac punched earlier that night, was the one who actually pulled the trigger.
Keefe D. has now identified his own nephew as the murderer of Tupac Shakur.
Bolstering Keefe D's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac, and that the Crip who was jumped at the MGM was in the group that had done the hit. This was exactly the same story.
I'm telling you, this nigga fucking
a decade later.
Keefe
Diddy is goddamn Lex Luthor, bro.
$1 million to kill Suge and Tupac.
We wanted $1 million. Yeah, he said, come on downstairs and talk to me.
He tells you seriously, man, I need to get rid of these guys. I mean, he's looking at you in the eye.
Or he's that one nigga from Civil War.
We'll do it for $1 million.
From Avengers Civil War. Who got all the niggas to fight each other? He's that nigga. Diddy planned this whole shit out on God. Lex Luthor 445. Why? Where's the 445? Oh well. Yeah, Diddy is one of those. Yo, really, Sydney, what the fuck?
When Diddy was asked about this confession, this was his response.
It was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
As you can imagine, Death Row was likely seeking retaliation for the murder of Tupac. Everyone at Bad Boy Records knew they were not safe, but they were especially not safe in Southern California. An LA kingpin called Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, and warned him that there was a hit placed on Biggie in LA.
This somebody did 26 years in the federal jail as a kingpin, brother. He called me to save Biggs' them life. Tell them niggas not to go nowhere. It's a hit on them. You get this information from a kingpin, brother. Chaz Williams.
Despite knowing all this information, in February of 1997, they headed out to Los Angeles to promote Biggie's new album, Life After Death. Puffy also wanted to record some of his album, No Way Out, in LA. Lil Cease, Biggie's best friend, claims that Big wanted to be in LA.
If he say go, we going. If he stay, we staying. Big wanted to stay. I always tell people that, why everybody always go, why y'all was there so long, or why you didn't tell him to go home? He's the boss. We're here because of him. If he feel like there's no threat that he wants to be here, it's our job to stand down with him.
Biggie was not taunting the West Coast. He genuinely loved being in LA. He received
Major Glaze, that nigga, he telling it how it is, right? Nigga, the boss.
Despite being surrounded by
planning
his enemies.
hits on men to hit men from the back.
Beef with Tupac,
I hope he brings up the Meek Mill situation.
To inspire change and squash the East Coast versus West Coast beef. The truth is, over the years, Puffy and Biggie had made so many enemies that they didn't really know who was after them. But they overstayed their welcome in the City of Angels, and Big's demise came on March 9th, 1997. After presenting an award at the 1997 Soul Train Awards, the Bad Boy crew attended the after-party hosted by Vibe magazine at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Biggie left the party.
Bro, imagine knowing that you got a hit out on you, nigga. That's crazy.
With Puffy and other entourage
members
why I
don't be beefing with nobody,
as they stopped at the first red light, a dark-colored Chevrolet Impala pulled up alongside Biggie's SUV. An unknown assailant inside the Impala rolled down the window and fired multiple shots at Biggie's vehicle. Biggie was hit numerous times by gunfire, sustaining 4 gunshot wounds. One of the bullets struck him in the chest, causing severe internal injuries. He was immediately rushed to the Cedars
Bro,
Sinai Medical Center, but pronounced
fucking
dead at
Diddy's
the
nowhere to
hospital
be
that
found.
night. So what happened? Well, Puffy's business partner said that they had used up all their budget on security, so they couldn't hire extra security for this evening. Keefe D was also at this party and offered protection. Puff told him to stand down. Puff decided to ride in the separate car located in front of Biggie's. Then he gave his security guard, Gene Deal, very strange instructions rather than maximizing Big's protection.
I tried to ride on the side of the car. Puff said, "Yo, Gene, what you doing?" I said, "I'm riding on the side of the car. I'm gonna have my gun out." So he says to me, "Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again." I said, "Man, how the f you gonna try to tell me how to do my job?" He said, "Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car." As I go to get in the car,
nah, this nigga set up both of their deaths
and let his seat all the way back. So now I gotta put my legs sideways. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck is you doing?" I said, "You ready?" He said, "You ready?" I said, "Kenny, run the next 3 lights." Kenny said, "For what?" I said, "Motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm gonna drive." Kenny just took off.
The first car ran the red lights, but the car behind them did not follow. They decided to stop at the red light. Lil Cease had his head hanging out the window trying to holler at some girls. Then out of nowhere, the shooting took place. According to an FBI agent, Phil Carson,
that nigga Diddy playing both sides, got them both packed.
Hired Amir Muhammad to carry out the execution. However, the agent says that the original target was not Biggie. They were targeting Sean Puffy Combs. Gene also believes this story is the truth.
I believe it was meant for Puff. The people that tried to kill Puff that night, for whatever reason, because we had some beef with some Muslim cats in Soul Train too. For whatever reason, the people that's trying to kill Puff, Big became a casualty of Puff shit.
When they rushed Big to the hospital, Lil Cease, who literally looked the shooter right in his face, gave a description to Gene. This is what he said.
Little Cease at the hospital, he said a Muslim shot Big. And I said to Paul, with the blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie, he said, "Gene, how you know?" I said, "That motherfucker walked up to Puff car first."
Lil Cease's description of the man matches up to what the FBI uncovered. All in all, to say that Puffy set up the murders of Pac and Biggie is not exactly accurate, but the origins of the beef and the escalation of the beef can most definitely be traced back to Puffy.
It looked like
also,
a coincidence,
he definitely
bro.
knew that danger was looming for Pac and Biggie and did not even come close to trying to prevent both of their deaths. Because at the end of the day, Puff was the one who benefited most from them dying. Think about it from the perspective of Puffy the businessman. Tupac dies, that makes Biggie the winner. Biggie looks like the ultimate gangster.
Yo, life is fucking crazy. You got niggas out here setting up. Yo, what the fuck?
Laid diss track and then got him killed. That helps feed into the persona and sell more records. Plus, with Tupac dead, there is no more competition.
Nah, this nigga Diddy got it, bro.
His idol, the dude who he copied everything from, can no longer defend himself from the grave. Now, we know that Puff didn't exactly want Big to die, but he wasn't doing everything in his power to protect him. Additionally, Puff saw how much money Death Row was making after Tupac passed. Tupac Shakur sold 67,000 records in the week following his murder. 2 months after he died, they released The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, which Shakur recorded under the name Machiavelli. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 200 with first week sales of 664,000 and 250,000 the second week. To this day, Tupac has sold 75 million records, most of which came posthumously. Puffy owned all of Big's publishing. He allegedly purchased it from him for $200,000
That's why everything's going wrong for this nigga
before
right
he
now, bro.
passed, which meant that everything
Imagine
he
a part
recorded
2
or
to this
wrote for
except it's
himself
Drake
or
and
other
Kendrick.
artists,
Imagine.
Puff owned all of Biggie's percentage. Aside from the tens of
Who would
millions
be
of
the
dollars
kingpin
in
in
albums
that,
Big
though?
sold
Kendrick and
posthumously,
Drake
he was
beef.
also a prolific songwriter. He wrote all of Junior Mafia's
Who
album.
would turn them
he wrote
on each
for
other?
Lil' Kim. He wrote
Is
for
it
Mace,
J. Cole?
Craig Mack. Also consider every single time he's been sampled over the years. Diddy has been making money off Biggie for more years than Biggie
Metro
was
Meek.
alive. There were even suspicions that Biggie was aware of how much control Puffy had over his
Nah,
music
but
and
Meek-
tried to
Meek-
sign over
Meek
all his
beefed
new
with,
music to his infant daughter.
Drake. I don't
but
think he
passed
ever
away
beefed with
before he
Kendrick.
could get the business deals done. Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, has repeatedly expressed her distrust of Diddy. The truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of a friend and mentor for about $25,000. That's the amount Puffy lured my son with. That was a lot of money for Christopher back then as a 19-year-old. She continued by saying that she was glad her son does not have to witness that the very people that he thought he could ride and die with wouldn't think twice about using his mother. She added, "I am glad that he is not here to see how they have used his image and his name." Diddy was filthy rich, extremely powerful, and evidently unpredictable. Imagine how easy it was to leverage his power in the music industry.
Like, how does
and
nigga
his
not
personal
feel bad,
life.
bro?
If you said no to him, in theory, he could blackball you, extort you, or maybe something more permanent. So consider that when we begin analyzing his history of suspicious behavior.
I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Let's start with the mysterious Puffy's Flavor Camp, where Diddy would mentor teenage musicians like Usher and give them a taste of the music industry. R&B sensation Usher was nothing short of a child prodigy. By age 13, he had already been discovered in Atlanta by L.A. Reid, and they sent him to New York City to record his debut album with Diddy. In 1994,
Yo, young Usher does not look real, nigga.
And he moved into Diddy's house to be a part of his Flavor Camp.
I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
They got Usher?
And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Usher has been very reluctant to discuss what happened when he lived with Diddy. In a 2004 article with Rolling Stone, he said, "Puff introduced me to a totally different set of shit. Sex, specifically. Sex is so hot in the industry, man. While he was in New York, he lived at Puffy's house in Scarsdale. There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy.
Bro, there's just no way that sex runs the world this fucking much, bro. Like, that's fucking crazy, bro. At the age of 13, this nigga's in a crib with Diddy, seeing niggas and bitches getting fucked. Day in and day out, bro.
Never knew what was going to happen. Some people look at this as nothing short of grooming a young boy. One time, Diddy himself detailed what living with Usher was like.
Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle.
Kevin Hart?
All for the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. And now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the f did Puff just say?
Even though Kevin Hart was just joking, he really was the only one that seemed to question what Diddy was talking about. But Usher looks kind of uncomfortable. And you'll notice a theme where Diddy is very comfortable touching other people, embracing them, calling them pet names, and almost always the other person's body language screams they do not like it.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
But Usher is not the...
What made that nigga say that shit? You putting that work in, daddy.
Only artist in the industry who may have been a victim of Puffy's Flavor Camp. Justin Bieber was also mentored by Diddy
just watched this part.
His career. Bieber, just after his
48 hours with Diddy. This shit didn't age well,
hours
bro.
with Diddy. Diddy gifted him a Lamborghini Gallardo and let the world know why him and the teenager were hanging out.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. It's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours...
Did he finna set everyone in chat up? Nah, this shit didn't age well at all.
Buck fool, crazy.
Combs seems to be acting strange, but Justin seems alright. At the time, he was still a young star, glamorized by the industry. 1 year later, his demeanor towards Diddy was much different.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well,
damn.
You try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Now, Combs is renowned for hosting lavish and star-studded parties that have become legendary in the entertainment industry. Diddy parties are famous for... star-studded parties that have become legendary in the entertainment industry. Diddy parties are famous for attracting A-list celebrities across all industries. I had the craziest mix, Combs told Oprah. Some of my boys from Harlem, Leonardo DiCaprio after he just finished Titanic, I had socialites there and relatives from down south. Diddy parties are typically hosted at luxury venues or his own private residences.
That don't even sound right, a
the
Diddy
media
party.
Were quick
Like,
to
what the
anoint
fuck?
him the
Why
modern
wouldn't
day
hang out with a
Gatsby,
kid? What the fuck?
a title he
He's
embraced
weird.
with open arms. Have I read The Great Gatsby? He said to a reporter. reporter in 2001? I am the Great Gatsby. However, many people forget that one of Diddy's first parties ever resulted in the deaths of 9 attendees. In 1991, 22-year-old Sean Combs was the promoter of the Heavy D's and Puff Daddy celebrity charity basketball game at City College's Nat Holman Gymnasium, the infamous Puffy Party where a stampede occurred taking the lives of 9 people. Some of the hottest rappers in the game were set to attend. Boyz II Men, Phife Dawg, Big Daddy Kane, Jodeci,
9 niggas
even LL
died,
Cool J
that's
and
crazy.
Mike Tyson showed up. The crazy part is that fans could see all of their favorite stars for just $12. The first problem occurred with the tickets. Keep in mind, this is in 91, so people had to go to physical locations like the Apollo Theater box office to buy tickets. Tickets were also
Whatever
sold
Daddy
at local
wants,
shops
Daddy
like
gets
Boss
us,
Emporium,
nigga.
and even free tickets
Yeah, I
were
heard
given
him
out
say
on the
earlier he
radio
was
by
a savage.
Funkmaster Flex. The facility could only hold 2,730 people,
How many
but they
came?
had no idea how many tickets they sold, as no proper system was set in place to keep track.
Oh, damn.
Despite this, Gene Deal recalls Puffy requesting to cut security presence in half.
This particular day, Puff calls me the day before we supposed to do the party and say, yo, Gene, I don't need y'all to do the security outside. I got the FOIs to do it. So I said, man, I just told 18 guys. He said, I just need 8, I just need 8.
To clarify, the FOIs are Fruit of Islam members. One witness to the event said, you cannot have an event like this in Harlem without those Muslims, said Oscar Davis, 32, of the Bronx. Forget the police, they can't do nothing. The people in Harlem respect the Muslims. It was blatantly obvious that more people were outside than could actually fit in the gym. Despite the overcrowding, tickets were still being sold at the door, said Mario Salvaggi, a city police patrol chief. Fans entered through 2 side exits and funneled down the stairs, through the doors into the gymnasium. But once LL Cool J and Mike Tyson showed up, all hell broke loose. Mobs of people started swarming from outside to rush inside.
Yeah,
pushing
niggas wanted to
people
see that
forward
nigga
towards
that
the
bad,
glass
that's crazy.
doors. The glass doors eventually were shut and needed to be pulled towards the crowd to be opened. Guards tried to instruct people to fall back, but they wouldn't listen. The pressure became so great.
What the hell is this? I'll fuck the shit out of Diddy? What the fuck?
Long stroke. Is that a activity that you would consider
participating in?
Crossing, or would you consider participating? Yeah, I mean, let's. Would you
like
ever?
Would I fuck Diddy? Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah, I fuck Diddy. I'm not gonna front. I'd fuck the shit out of Diddy. Like, I'm just giving it a buck, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The glass doors shattered and people fell through them. Outsiders began stampeding and stomping over bodies to get inside the facility.
This
But the
event
problem
walked
just
so
got worse
Astroworld
as they
could
needed
run.
to go down the stairs into the gym. The doors at the bottom of the stairs
How many
also
niggas
needed to be
Travis
pulled
Scott
open
killed?
towards the crowd, not pushed into the gym.
sorry.
So hundreds of people were squeezed
GTA.
up against these doors in this tiny stairwell
That's how it
with
was
no
saying,
way
not
to
gonna lie, no, I
escape.
should've-
Also notice that
He
these
said he
doors
fucked the
don't
shit out
have
of
any
that nigga Diddy.
windows. So inside of the gym, people were having a great time. From the outside, you can hear them partying, playing music, and rappers shouting over the microphone. They didn't even know that just on the other side of those doors were people fighting for their lives. Eventually, they got the doors open. As much as 6 people were stacked on top of each other and began spilling onto the gym floor, finally relieving the pressure. People
Damn.
began trying to perform CPR on the ground. Someone announced over the microphone that 3 people died right there. This caused chaos, and the people inside the gym began trying to leave, stampeding back through the exact same stairwell where people were trapped in the first place. Police identified 5 men and 3 women dead at the scene, and 29 people
Niggas
were
are
injured.
dumb,
A
bro.
9th victim died in the hospital days later. All of them died from asphyxiation. 8 families of the deceased settled wrongful death lawsuits against Mr. Combs in early 1998. Mr. Combs ended up paying around $600,000 of a total $3 million or so. Now,
Damn.
clearly, this wasn't all Diddy's fault. Legally, the courts claim the city 50% responsible
The
and the
father of
promoters 50%
Astroworld.
responsible.
Dude.
Regardless, death and dark energy seemed to lure around Diddy since his earliest days. From there, he kind of stopped throwing parties for the public and started to keep them private. However, over the years, disturbing rumors have spread regarding what happens
Inside
during
Diddy's
parties,
freak-off
ranging
parties
group
from
sex
sex,
rituals
drugs,
to casting couches
hip-hop
where
to
newcomers
NDAs and
would secure
A-list
their future in
celebs.
various industries. The biggest rumor is that aspiring male talent would need to pleasure other powerful men to advance their careers. And
What?
apparently it's an open secret in the music industry, which is why Shannon Sharp erupted in laughter when Cat Williams said,
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did.
Now, Diddy has 6 biological children with 3 different women. He has had multiple high-profile relationships with the likes of Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell, and Cassie. But you'll notice that most of the party stories that circulate involve him being surrounded by men. Josh Ostrovsky, who goes by The Fat Jewish on social media, detailed his strange experience at a Diddy party.
I wish my dad was
I'm on
Diddy
ecstasy,
dude.
and I'm trying to find the bathroom, and I can't find the bathroom, and I get lost. So I open a door, and in that room, there are a bunch of men laying about and, you know, kind of like very, like, kind of leaning on each other. Not like if you were spooning, but facing each other and, like, leaning up on your elbow and talking.
Like, it would almost be the prelude to an orgy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Okay.
my God. It was so prelude to an orgy. And who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, I know
are
who that is.
basically spooning each other. And they're drinking a glass of Hennessy.
Yo,
And they're,
niggas
like,
is
sharing-
gay.
They're like passing it back and forth.
And everyone-
That's niggas is gay. So at these parties, that's where niggas true colors be showing, bruh. Niggas, I usually skip this part. I thought I was posting along for a
And
second.
everyone's just like talking,
I'm weak.
and then as soon as I see them, I'm like,
all men though. There's not
all
one woman
men,
in this room.
all men, and
Yeah.
they're
all men
they're
is crazy.
100% on ecstasy.
Shortly after Josh and Diddy locked eyes, he was kicked out. Josh, who is a gay man, immediately felt like he was in a room full of other gay men. But there was no real accusation nor damning evidence here. It could have just been a group of guys chilling. So let's take a listen to rapper
what's
Exhibit
going on with Cat
recounting
Williams
his
right now, bro?
experience partying with Diddy.
Florida, we got invited to
I don't know why that randomly just popped in my head.
Party. He invited us to the house because he wanted to go to the club after. Puffy calls me outside. He's like, "Hey man, that girl you know about?" He's like, you know, that's the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What you mean that's the devil?" So we get into the truck. He said, "Let's go to this club." You know, we sitting there bobbing to the music, and then she pointed over the corner. It's 2 dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "The f is this?" And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there, like, butt ass naked dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what?
We take off, man.
Based on X's
What?
story, it seems like Diddy brought him to a gay club. Or maybe coincidentally, Exhibit just looked at the only 2 gay couples in a regular club. 50 Cent also recalls one of the first times he met Diddy.
We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said?
Nigga want to take him on a date.
Trust me.
Now, there is no doubt that homophobia has been prevalent in hip-hop forever. However, some people are just simply not gay, and Diddy's actions make them feel uncomfortable. Like rappers Fabulous and Jadakiss, who were pressed by Diddy on a podcast that got really awkward.
Did Diddy ever come out as gay or bisexual? Because I feel like bro just admitted that he was bisexual.
Really quickly. He began
a lot of
by
niggas would be
repeatedly
weary
calling the
about that
host
nigga.
Nori
No? So
daddy.
he just be hiding it. He a closet nigga.
Yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
it's
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping for
No,
shit.
no, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I've been practicing.
Nah, that nigga gay. He's gay. That Yo, this nigga's gay. He's cooked. He's cooked.
I like that.
You know, I've been
I like that, daddy. I like when you do that, daddy. Like, bruh.
When you scrambling and scraping
Dude,
for shit.
I like when you searching for shit, daddy.
Then he proceeded to ask Fabulous why he didn't want to party with him.
See where I look
Did you
back
miss
on
me?
where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real? Because I'm
I
saying,
miss-
it seems like a thing.
I
with
miss
this
partying.
birthday
This nigga's a
party.
gay overlord,
Man,
bro.
but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party?
His actions speak up for his sexuality?
True. Yeah, we partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
Jadakiss kept his head looking straight down for almost the entire interview, and you could tell Fabulous was very uneasy about Diddy's presence. When Diddy was confronted about it, this was his response.
When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
That was you.
Scrambling.
That nigga knew it was
I like when
him.
you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man.
Amen.
Nah, I mean,
Hey, man. You know? Hey, man. Like, nigga got a 4K message in front of him. 4K evidence. And nigga talking about some
shit.
That's me?
Hey.
Nigga, you know that's you, bro.
nah, I mean, I
You
was
don't
caught,
go back and look at that stuff and laugh?
I mean, it could be funny. I don't really be on it like that.
It seems like he genuinely has no idea why people thought what he said was weird.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party.
What is you talking about? What is you talking about? Incident that's going off.
You know what? Maybe we're reading Diddy. Maybe we reading that nigga wrong, bro. Diddy ain't gay. He ain't gay. We just reading him wrong, bro. He's so confident in his straight sexuality that he could say gay shit without even knowing that it's gay, bro. He don't even see it as gay, bro. We reading that nigga wrong,
say that
bro.
to me, I get a little uncomfortable.
But even with all the jokes, rumors, and secrets, nobody ever formally spoke out against Diddy and accused him of assault or abuse. Until 2019, when his ex-girlfriend Gina Huynh spoke publicly about what it's like to be in a relationship with him. Keep in mind that Gina was a side girlfriend for Diddy. The public didn't know about her, because his public relationship was with Cassie Ventura, who—
Bro, like, how do bitches just be like willing to be side bitches? Like, what?
who he had been on and off dating for a decade.
He had caught me texting another man. We were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground. He like stood over me. He avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head, and I was just like, covering my face. He like stomped on my stomach, like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, pleading.
Y'all feel bad for bitches in abusive relationships.
And he like stopped
because of money type shit.
He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head.
She also claims that she was pregnant with his child in 2014.
Nigga said free abortion, bro. Bro, chill.
He was like, "You're gonna get an abortion, right?" I was like, "I don't know yet." And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him.
Gina did not take the money, but she also did not have the child. 4 years later, she got pregnant again.
Damn,
Gina goes on to
bitch!
detail multiple other instances of emotional and physical
by that nigga Diddy again?
abuse, but she never filed any formal charges. It wasn't all the way until November of 2023 that someone finally filed a formal lawsuit against Diddy. After that, the floodgates were opened, and Sean Combs' dark past crept out of the shadows. In the lawsuit, Cassie Ventura, his longtime girlfriend, accused Mr. Combs of repeated physical abuse over about a decade. As you can imagine, this lawsuit and these allegations went extremely viral. After all these years of shady rumors, weird behavior, and dark secrets, the entire world was prepared for Diddy's decline. Ventura and Combs met in 2005 when she was 19 and he was 37. He heard—
Yo, these age gaps just get fucking... Like, the last age gap when we were talking about that Dan Schneider shit when it was 40 and... What was it? 40 and 18? This is just as fucking bad, bro. Like, why do these motherfuckers get freshly... turned bitches, bro?
Heard a song she was marketing called Me and You.
Legal
he
bitches.
Then contacted Ryan Leslie, who wrote Cassie's first single, and paired Bad Boy Records with Leslie's Next Selection imprint for the release of Cassie's debut album. In August 2006, Cassie released her self-titled album under Bad Boy Records. The pair formed a close relationship through working together for several months as Cassie became the face of Diddy's fashion label, Sean John. In 2007, Diddy separated from his longtime partner Kim Porter and started dating Cassie. Cassie alleged that Combs controlled nearly every aspect of her life, from her career to having access to her personal medical records.
What the fuck?
She claims he was frequently violent, physically abusing her multiple times a year, and that he often plied her with copious amounts of drugs, which made videos like this one seem awfully suspicious, where Cassie seems to be hiding from Diddy.
What you gotta say now? What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit this.
That shit on the ground? This bitch shitting herself in the fucking crib?
Say, when you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, babe. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby. It's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
The court papers assert that others who worked with Mr. Combs helped him control Miss Ventura, like suppressing her music if she did not obey his orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. But it wasn't just mentally controlling. He also often got physically violent with her. In one incident in Los Angeles in 2009, the suit says that Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Miss Ventura talking to another talent agent, then pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed.
All because the bitch wanted to... What? Oh, what? Yo.
The suit also details Diddy's request for Cassie to engage in his newest sexual fantasy called voyeurism. Combs forced Ventura to have sex with male sex workers in different cities, encounters she claimed he watched, pleasured himself to, and recorded.
Yo, this whole shit just did a whole fucking 180, my nigga. What the fuck? So not only is this nigga a fucking evil mastermind, damn near a fucking pedo, a sexual assaulter, this nigga's also a cuck. Okay.
This is the allegation that likely opened up a federal investigation into him sex trafficking people. According to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie. The lawsuit continues to detail some of the most horrific, embarrassing, and torturous behavior Diddy allegedly committed. Combs' lawyer, Benjamin Braffman, responded to the lawsuit on behalf of him. Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent...
My only thing is, like, I just don't like, I don't know. It's hard for me to react to shit like this. It's not hard for me to react to shit like this, but I just feel like niggas ain't really interested in it. But I like videos like this.
Demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. Despite them denying everything,
and they're long as fuck, like, you know what I mean?
24 hours after it was made public. We don't know how much, but due to the severity of the charges, the public assumed that Diddy coughed up tens of millions of dollars.
Well, these are also good YouTube reactions, I ain't
and
gonna
while
lie.
Combs likely believed that he escaped Cassie's lawsuit unscathed, a woman named Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit on November 23rd. Gardner claimed that
more
she
accusations,
and
boy.
And singer-songwriter Aaron Hall at an MCA Records event in either 1990 or 1992. They returned to Hall's apartment for an after-party where she was offered more drinks and was coerced into having sex with Combs, who assaulted both her and her friend. In another complaint filed the same day, Joy Dickerson Neal alleged that in 1991, she reluctantly went on a date with Combs, who intentionally drugged and sexually assaulted her after...
Yo, this nigga's over here Rick Ross, bro. He's over here Rick Ross and bitches putting fucking Molly and bitches champagnes. They not even knowing about it, bro. Like, that shit crazy,
Diddy
man.
denied the allegations through a spokesperson who claimed that the women's claims were fabricated and accused them of exploiting the Adult Survivors Act.
Collecting
the
victims,
New York's Adult Survivors Act
victims left and
temporarily
right.
eliminated the civil statute of
Treating these
limitations
bitches
for
like
survivors of
Infinity
sexual
Stones, man. This
assault,
nigga think
which
he
gave them
Thanos
the
right
right
now.
to file a lawsuit against the perpetrator regardless of how long ago it occurred. Then another woman came out. Jane Doe alleged that Combs, his longtime lieutenant Harve Pierre...
And this nigga's not locked up? Like, how the fuck have we not found this nigga yet? Like, what the
and
fuck?
a third unidentified assailant gang-raped her when she was 17
What?
at Combs' Manhattan
What?
recording studio
What?
in 2003. Pierre, who previously served as president of Combs Bad Boy Entertainment, had also been sued by a former assistant, who alleges he used his position of authority as plaintiff's boss to groom, exploit, and sexually assault her several times between 2016 and 2017. The lawsuit further claimed that men trafficked Doe across state lines from Detroit to New York City on a private jet, supplied the teenager with drugs and alcohol until she couldn't consent, and then violently assaulted her.
Until she couldn't consent
included
is
several
crazy.
photos that Doe alleges were taken at the studio that night, including one where she is sitting on Combs' lap. Enough is enough, Diddy said on Instagram. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy.
Bitch, you did it! You fucking did it! Diddy did it!
I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I
Cap.
will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. But it wasn't just women accusing him. In February of 2024, Combs' former producer and videographer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, filed a federal lawsuit against Combs, alleging Combs sexually harassed, drugged, and threatened him. According to the lawsuit, Rodney Lil Rod Jones lived with Combs
Enough is enough funny, yeah.
and
Crazy.
November 2023,
Did he do it?
during which
Hell
he worked
yeah.
on Diddy's most recent album, The Love Album, Off the Grid. As Combs' videographer, Jones allegedly
Hey, gun to the back of your head, name 5 Diddy songs.
secured hours of footage and audio recordings of Combs engaging in illegal activity. The activity the suit alleges includes acquiring drugs, soliciting sex workers, providing laced drinks to minors, and sexual assault. Jones alleges that he was the victim of constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs.
Like, bro, I don't give a fuck who it is, bro. I don't give a fuck who it is, bro. If there's niggas out there touching me inappropriately, I'ma swing on a nigga. Cause what the fuck are you doing?
Mr. Jones.
These niggas are better than me, bro. I don't give a fuck who it is, nigga. What the fuck?
Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. In the
Man, I
lawsuit,
don't give a fuck how much money niggas is paying me. I will leave that shit, bro.
Jones also alleges that Young Miami, who is Diddy's most recent girlfriend, was among those who were paid a monthly fee by Diddy to work as his sex workers. Jones believed Diddy was grooming him with the goal of passing him off to others. While on a yacht in January of 2023, Jones alleges he was introduced to Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr., who proceeded to grope and fondle him until being forcibly pushed away. Jones claimed that Diddy, who had dominion and control over Gooding Jr., failed to step in. Also in Jones's lawsuit,
failed to step in? That nigga knew what the fuck he was doing? Bro, let's be for real, my nigga. Let's be for real. Failed to step in? Nah.
Unnamed rapper is mentioned as having been on Diddy's yacht, where they were allegedly seen consorting with underage girls and sex workers. This rapper is described as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Meek Mill is from Philadelphia and dated Nicki Minaj from 2014 to 2016. That same unnamed rapper, also an unnamed R&B singer, and producer Stevie J allegedly engaged in sexual intercourse with Diddy. This allegation has people looking at that clip of Meek Mill in the pool with Diddy calling him daddy more suspiciously. Also, 50 Cent made some jokes about Diddy and Stevie J on Instagram, to which Stevie J responded with not denying the allegations, but challenging 50 Cent to a boxing match.
However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on
Shit, that nigga, he wanna beat the shit out of 50 Cent, but he was getting his back beat by Diddy, nigga.
TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis?
But the most shocking allegation made in the lawsuit was Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs...
Yo, god damn, man. Y'all see how many pages this bitch is? 37 out of 73 pages, bro. What the fuck?
Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his homes, and that Diddy was secretly recording artists and powerful executives like Lucian Grange, who was mentioned in the lawsuit, who may or may not have participated in the freak-offs. If this turns out to be true...
That's a crazy sentence, bruh. This nigga who may or may not have participated in the freak-offs. Like,
some
what,
of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry get exposed, man. And 50 Cent wants to be a part of the expose. He said on Instagram, shaking my head, "This is gonna be so good. What you wanna bet I'm gonna get these tapes? I'll pay top dollar for them. You been over there? I don't go to Puffy's parties. However..."
This nigga over here trying to be a bounty hunter for the Diddy tapes? Yo, buddy, I don't know if I can co-sign that one, bro. Like 50, I fuck with you, my boy. Like, but you trying to you collecting these bitches like they're Pokemon.
However, it seems as though Sean Combs' reign of terror may be over. On March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security agents and other law enforcement officers raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami due to a possible ongoing sex trafficking investigation. Homeland Security expert Hal Kempfer added some insight that the evidence they're looking for
that was a big ass
laptops,
crib,
flash drives, and anything that would connect Combs with the allegations. As of right now, we don't know what they found, and technically the feds never formally announced what they were looking for or why they were there. But
so they just raided this nigga's crib and just didn't get nothing? Like, what the fuck? Like, how do we not have any evidence on this nigga?
Technically, the feds never formally announced what they were looking for or why they were there, but it's safe to assume, based on the allegations, conveniently, Diddy was not even in the United States during the time of the raid. According to TMZ, Combs'
that nigga
jet
knew
was
about
spotted
it
on the ground in Antigua, in the Caribbean, shortly after news of the raids broke. Many people believe he is fleeing the country, and today it seems like Diddy is spiraling. He just posted on social media trying to see who in the industry is on his side.
Hey, yo, right now though, for real, yo, I need to know who f with me. You know, like just straight up, like I don't have the time. If you f with me, let it be known. If you don't f with me, be quiet.
And just in case you wanted some more twisted allegations and insane conspiracy theories, take a look at the founders of Uptown Records, the people who gave Diddy his very first job in the music industry. Andre Harrell, dead at age 59.
Damn.
D, dead at age 44.
Damn.
Kim Porter, dead at age 47. And Albie Schur, who was just in a coma for 2 months and almost lost his life. Albie Schur is also the father of Diddy's oldest adopted son. Albie had a child with Kim Porter before she left him.
Yo, Diddy, this nigga Diddy is a fucking bounty hunter. What the fuck?
And had children with him. Albie has recently been trying to reach out to his oldest son, hoping that he will leave Diddy and come back home, and when he got out of his coma, he strongly insinuated that Diddy was the reason behind it.
We are going to be producing the Albie Schur life story. So hold on to your britches, and you'll really understand how I ended up at a
Nigga said motherfuckers respawning.
Now, why would Diddy want the people who got him into the music industry in the first place to all be dead? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems like almost everyone around Sean Combs for his whole career either dies, disappears from relevance, or speaks out against his devilish ways. Yet nothing bad ever seems to happen to him. He just seems to get more successful and rich. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. But for now, we will just have to see how this all plays out.
That's crazy.
Based on everything you have learned in this video, you probably think he is guilty. But as of right now, he is innocent until proven Diddy.
Yo, Patrick CC actually has good ass fucking videos, bro.